So then, we are back with more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then, we can understand the time of the end, period Yirmiyahu the prophet. We find in the layer of restoration and also reduction from Matityahu the Levite, the first recorder of the spring feast. Then we read from Yirmiyahu the returning of the holy cities of the Messiah laid waste for many centuries. As we understand these days, also the Gentiles were included, and there is a set plan on the agenda more than 2,500 years ago. However, we understand nations are trying to cling back to the old junkies. They want to deceive as they used to deceive during the time of the 1,000 years of deceit. Let me say this categorically from the prophet, from Yirmiyahu the prophet: it's not going to work. The Asian market must dominate the world's market yet, and whatsoever the United States is doing then to upset their system, it's not going to work. Let's give then a proof of it as we study then the holy instructions and read ourselves from Greco-Roman stupid, scoundrelized, and imbecile translation, so then we can understand what it means. Then Daniel, the politician and tradesperson, said from the angel, then the time of the city would end, where then people would go to and fro. Then a peak of knowledge at the end of the time of the seat. Then we've entered, after 2009, the time of the dragon. Thus then, the Chinese dragon, there is only an understanding of combining high knowledge from a person with a trades background. Computer trade. So whatsoever the United States is trying to do, then in mesmerizing the rest of the world and try to cling back to the old junkies, thinking that government must control, they are not going to control. Read what the Messiah has said, and the freighters of the earth then would be in charge. There is no way of going around it, because this agenda was set a long time ago. So United States is truly an imbecile country. There is no way of representing any other factor. We find then the BRICS, the most important and prominent countries, coming already together, developing their own banking system. The U.S. monetary system is breaking, it is weakening every time, and then we insist in doing what we used to do. It's not going to work. So we have becoming a broken country, then stupid, then imbecile, then ignorant. What would be the next step then of the United States taking higher than these, maybe in their viewpoint, marvelous titles? Then New Zealand should prepare itself, because there is an event coming from US. If you are interested then in the visit of a then US lawyer going over there and trying to come together with some sort of a computer related, trying to find bad guys and such, you can be sure of it. There is some sort of a spy going on over there in New Zealand, because they understand Australia was already taken over by US junkie plans. Japan is already then busted themselves, and they are printing out more money as US is doing and trying to hold on to the old junkies. Then the situation with North Korea didn't work. Then what else are they trying to plan? Then already have US military in Australia, so Australia is ruined. The only chance for Australia to recuperate some strength is if Tony then becomes the Prime Minister over there. They have already 12 times 6 digits plus in debt. 6, try 12 digits. 12 times 12 digits already short in their economy. And they are making plans for the future without having the resources. You know what this means? Printing money festival. As Japan is doing, as the United States is doing, they're trying to hold back because they think they can manage. They can't manage. The reason why the agenda of the Creator must be set because countries have proven themselves unworthy. They are not going to do what they want to do. What must take place is the Chinese system from the Pacific, Asia market, starting with the BRICS, starting with those main kingdoms, as stated by Daniel the politician, the kingdom of the North Soviet Union, under the leadership of Mr. Putin. South Africa, thus far, under the leadership of Mr. Zuma. And then Mr. Xi is the president of the Eastern Kingdom. And obviously would be infrastructure development would be the starting of this system. But then nations, they try to come together again because they think they can. They can't. The reason why this country is breaking, the reason why Japan is broken, the reason why Europe is breaking, the United States is already broken beyond measure. We tried to purchase the war last year from Israel in Gaza. They are at war again. Incompetent. But then they try to come together again as a belian system and they think it's going to work. It's not going to work. That's why the Creator already gave the agenda 2,500 years ago. The Creator knew from back then this system of the belian system is not going to work. Thus, the Creator set a path a long time ago. And then New Zealand, as we were thinking, they're going to become the trading post of the South Pacific. Now comes the lawyer over there. The U.S. lawyer mesmerizing the people because computer and spying and, make some sort of a friendship over there. Ooh boy. They are already trying to come around and trying to upset the Asia market. And for the first time, New Zealand has beaten Australia in exports. So we can understand further then, a couple of chapters later, Bel and the dragon and their fight that goes on with it. Proving that the Holy Scripture instructions are true. This United States is an imbecile country. There is no other way of having some sort of understanding in this country. We are not taxing properly. We are not part of the system. Then rather than becoming in line with this system, then we try to go against with this system and we have barely any resources. We got no credit anymore. The golden credit had come out of ourselves as then bad credit. But then we're trying to poke other countries around. What can we expect? To do the same crap of the past, expect another result? Forget it. Our country is going to get broken. That's why they have built the Ozarks over there with the money of the people. And they did hide from the people. If it wasn't for then Mr. Ventura and his team, and also the radio broadcasters investigating, trying to find out, then the nation would be screwed. This government is absolutely incompetent. It is absolutely amazing. For a foreigner coming to this country, studying then First World War and then the influence of the United States and what they did, and then the Second World War and the great manager of the time, and then we find this country doing this? Imbeciles. We should have retrieved from the world's market, worldwide speaking, as U.S. form of exchange from the world last year. No, we were thinking we were mighty. We went over there to the Israel. Not we. The president went. He got mesmerized and went over there and gave them money, purchased the war, and there they are back in war. Now, are you saying the president is not an imbecile? He thought he was doing a great thing. Not only we've lost our money, we lost our credibility, now we're trying to round up those stupid other countries. Because Japan became stupid, Australia became stupid. Well, do you want a nice report of stupidity? That Julia lady over there, she's going to sink Australia. She's not very bright. We hope that Tony can take over the helm over there and make sure direct the ship over there in the proper area, otherwise they're going to sink. The tentacles of the United States are already in the Australian country over there, and they are not going to get out of there very easily. How comes the lawyer of US going to New Zealand? You know what they're trying to do? Mesmerize the New Zealanders to have then military over there also. So if New Zealand is not cautious, next thing they know, there they come. The aircraft from US try to have their bases over there. But you know what? It's not going to work. Because the Messiah said the freighters of the earth are in charge, and the Messiah is already in the future. The Messiah is already there in the future, observing from the future. And he's saying the freighters are in charge over here. If we would be listening to the Messiah, he would be in the future saying, hey, don't think about it. The Messiah is saying then the freighters are in charge. Adjust yourselves over there in the past because the freighters are in charge over here in the future. So what's coming out of this deal of United States is United States is imbecile. Japan became imbeciles. Australia amazingly became imbeciles. Not that it can't be changed. Please stay tuned, much more coming up.